Today we're heading to Modern to do some fishing. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And today we continue our quest to play all the new lords from Dominaria United. First we played Elfball and Explorer, then we played 8 Whack Goblins with a Runvel Hordemaster for Budget Magic in Modern. Well, today we are going fishing in Modern. We are playing Merfolk in 2022. I know that sounds crazy. Merfolk haven't been a good deck in Modern in, I don't even know, like a decade or something. It's been a while since Merfolk has been good, but maybe that's changing now thanks to a huge new addition in Vodalian Hexcatcher from Dominaria United. So let's talk about a Merfolk deck, jump into a Modern league and see if maybe Merfolk is good again somehow in Modern. So Merfolk, the big advantage of this tribe is they have some of the best lords in all of Magic. And Lord of Atlantis and Master of the Pearl Trident, essentially the same card, 2-mana 2/2s, pump all of our Merfolk and give them Island Walk, which sometimes just makes our team unblockable naturally if our opponent has an island, or we can give our opponent an island to make sure that our team is unblockable, which allows us to kill our opponent even through blockers really quickly. And then we have the new addition to the Trinity of Merfolk Lords in Vodalian Hexcatcher, which is very different. It doesn't give our team Island Walk, but it has a huge upside. It lets us sack our Merfolk to counter non-creature spells unless its controller pays 1. This might not sound very good, and honestly, in some matchups it's not. If we run into just like a creature deck or whatever, then Hexcatcher's the worst lord in our deck. But in some matchups against unfair decks, Hexcatcher's a huge deal. Let's say we play against, I don't know, like a Living End deck or something, or a Storm style deck. Being able to sack our Merfolks to slow down our opponent's combo hopefully buys us enough time to win by beating down with our Merfolk. So hopefully Vodalian Hexcatcher is a card that changes the Merfolk equation, maybe makes the tribe competitive again in Modern. We also have our Modern Horizons 2 card in Zebulon of Sea and Sky. Maybe not quite a Fury or a Solitude or a Ragavan or whatever, but still a really strong Merfolk. Drawing cards, protecting our Merfolk, having Indestructible if we have some Merfolk. Then we have kind of our filler Merfolk, Tideshaper. It's our easiest way to give our opponent an island. We can kick it, turn a land into an island, make our team unblockable if we have one of our lords. Cursecatcher, kind of the original Hexcatcher. We can sack it to counter things. Silver Gillidat keeps us churning through our deck, and mostly they're just cheap Merfolk. For our lords to be good, we want as many Merfolk on the battlefield as possible, and these are just easy ways to get Merfolk on the battlefield. Then we have Subtlety, our one piece of main deck interaction. We can pitch one of our extra Merfolk or whatever to kind of like slow down a creature spell. Doesn't stop it forever. Our opponent can put it on the top of their deck, but we have such a fast clock that hopefully slowing down our opponent by even a turn or two will be enough to let us win the game. And then Ether Vial, kind of just a ramp spell in our deck, also lets us cheat our Merfolk into play at instant speed. Mana Base, Glasspool Mimic can copy our lords, a bunch of utility lands. Mutavault turns into a Merfolk really good in the deck. Sideboard, we get some removal, a bunch of graveyard hate, another way to turn our opponent's lands into islands and spreading seas, a counter spell, Chalice of the Void, mostly to hate on things like Living End, other Cascade decks and whatnot. And that is Merfolk in 2022. That's our Much Ado deck for this week. So let's jump into a league and see. Does Vodalian Hexcatcher mean Merfolk are back? Are they good again in Modern? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Today's video is brought to you by our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom. You can get all the Dominaria United cards you need and help support the show over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. All right, Much Ado About Nothing time. We are going fishing this week. Oh no, we are not keeping the 5-land Ether Vial opener. We're trying to find out if the new Merfolk Lord means Merfolk are good actually. Is it finally Prof's time to shine in Modern? Are we keeping this? Probably. Yeah, I mean, we got Zebulon, which is strong. Probably just put Subtlety to the bottom. Let's see what happens. I mean, this hand's not exciting, but we are on the mulligan. So let's see, we're working our way through the lords. We did Elf Ball and Explore to play the Elf Lord. Humans, eh? We did the Noblest of Hierarchs. Well, okay, let's play Ottawa, play Cursecatcher. Go. So we played Elves. That went pretty well. We played Runvel 8 Whack in Modern. That went pretty well for a budget deck especially. Now it's Merfolk, so what do we have left? Clerics and opponent, Champion of the Perished. Tribal Wars here. I feel like our opponent being on the play is probably pretty helpful. Opponent. All right, running them out. Opponent passes. Another Zebulon. Oh, this Mutavault's awkward. Well, play Mutavault, go to combat, attack. I don't think there's any chance our opponent blocks here, but hopefully they do. Opponent does not block. Pass the turn. Gotta get those free points of damage while we can. We'd actually just love to draw a blue source to get down Sevulin. So we get a flash in Hexcatcher. Gotta hope our opponent doesn't have any big action spells. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is our opponent? Oh my god. Oh, is this a... Okay. Blade Historian. Well, that's not great. Oh, we're just gonna die. That's 10. Okay. Yeah, sure. Well, let's flash in the Lord. Untap. Blue mana. Well, it is a blue source. Well, okay. The good news is Sevulin is indestructible, which technically means it can block something. Although we're so far behind, we already took a hit for 10 from the Champion of the Parish, and our opponent's gonna have 2 double strikers. We need our opponent to have like 2 lands in hand, and whiff on this Horizon Canopy. All right, Horizon Canopy, sure. Whiff, whiff, whiff. Who plays Blade Historian in Modern in their Ether Vial deck? I mean, it worked out really good there. That is not something you see every day. Well, apparently human are catching the fish at the moment. I wonder if this is a bad matchup. Or if it's just because we were on the draw and our opponent had like a fast mana start. Opponent, vialing in. Oh, jeez. Thalia's Lieutenant. That is the opposite of having nothing. Opponent goes to combat. Yeah, Curse Catcher seems real bad against humans. They don't even play instants or sorceries, really. Oh, we're losing to Blade Historian in Modern. And it's not even like a Winota deck or something. They're just playing it fairly. Opponent goes to combat. Big attack. So we just lose, right? Because we have to chump block. And that's going to take away the indestructibility. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's see what the sideboard plan looks like. Well, we're going down Curse Catchers because they're real bad. We can go up to Dismembers. Those seem good. Chalice. Probably not gonna Chalice. Definitely not Force Negation. Definitely not Unlicensed Hearse. I guess that's it. Run it back and trust that being on the play is going to help. We also mulliganed. I mean, we were on the draw and we mulliganed, and our opponent had a pretty good start. And apparently Blade Historian's broken. Who would have guessed? Well, it's cool to see humans again. Humans haven't really been a deck in Modern in a long time. I mean, that's part of the beauty of Modern. Even if your deck's bad, you can still play it. So humans used to be like the best deck in the format at one point, and now humans is tier 3. 3.5. It's funny because humans keep getting more pieces, but that doesn't seem to be enough to actually bring them back. Maybe Blade Historian is the tech. I think I found the list. There's a 3 and 4 list from a Modern 20K that is a single Blade Historian. Fair enough. Fair enough. We are on the play, which should be helpful. I mean, we'll keep this. It's not bad. We got the Ether Vial. The Dismember's good. We don't have all the pieces for Sevulin. We need 2 other Merfolk. I guess Mutavault might be able to get us there. Unclaimed territory. The question's going to be, what and when do we dismember? Noble Hierarch. Well, we might just dismember that then. I'll take up the Vial. Glasspool Mimic, eh? Well, play Mutavault. And yeah, I think this is probably worth it. Oh, pay 4, kill the Mana Dork, pass the turn. Glasspool Mimic on Lord of Atlantis could be sweet. Ooh. Well, if our opponent kept a 1-lander, then killing the Mana Dork definitely worked out. I'll take up the Vial. Hexcatcher. I'll play the land, play Vial in Lord of Atlantis. We gotta do this main phase because we want to clone it. So Vial in Lord of Atlantis, Glasspool Mimic, copy Lord of Atlantis. Opponent's gonna need some good stuff because we have another Lord and Sevulin coming down. And opponent kept the 1-lander. Opponent, Masked Vandal, gonna go after our Ether Vial. That's kind of hilarious. Our Lord of Atlantis are growing the Masked Vandal, which is awkward. Sevulin. Go. Opponent does not have an island, so we can't go attacking through the Masked Vandal tech. Oh no, the downside of the old lords. This does not happen in 2022 Magic. This happens in like 1993 Magic, but our lords are benefiting the shapeshifter, and it is actually a big problem. Charming Prince. Opponent's probably get a scry for land. Yeah. I mean, if we draw another land, what we'd like most is just to give our opponent an island. 2 to the bottom. Oh boy. Well, we get to start drawing with Sevulin, which is good. If we draw another land, we can just run out all the lords, and that should be enough. So it'd be a 4/4. This Masked Vandal. Oh, the downside of trying to play Merfolk, I guess. Another Sevulin. Well, we're definitely attacking with Sevulin. I guess we gotta leave back the other lords. Jeez. Get in with the indestructible Sevulin. Draw a card. Another Lord of Atlantis. All right, I guess we pass. Opponent, did you find the land? What a greedy keep for our opponent. Charming Prince, gonna keep scrying. I mean, at some point we're gonna start swinging with these Lord of Atlantises, even if they might die. We can stack up enough lords, I think, now that it should be fine. Opponent 2 more to the bottom. What a horrible hand. Well, run out the Hexcatcher, untap. Run out Master of the Pearl Trident. Yeah, we're just gonna swing with everything. We might lose a Lord of Atlantis, but I think it's... Well, let's leave back the Hexcatcher, actually. We might lose the Lord of Atlantis, but I think it's worth it. Ooh, Subtlety is actually super good here. So opponent can double block, kill a Lord, but we're gonna kill a Mass Vandal. Get rid of that surprisingly big headache. Yes, kill the Mass Vandal. Opponent goes to 3, pass the turn, and now we can just Subtlety whatever they play. So it should be game. I mean, our opponent ran very, very, very poorly. Champion of the Perished. Actually, I don't even think we care to Subtlety that. The noblest of hierarchs. Yeah, let's pitch the Subtlety. Bounce the hierarch. And opponent. Well, that went much better. Being on the play helped, but our opponent doing literally nothing and keeping one lander helped even more. I wonder if our deck wants more ways to turn things into islands. That's the only other thing I could imagine. All we have is this Tide Shaper. Although maybe we can just stack up so many lords it doesn't matter. You know what, let's go down a couple of subtleties. The problem with subtlety is it's good if our opponent's casting their spells, much less good if our opponent's on the Ether Vial plan. How's our hand look? Okay. Hexcatcher and Sevulin, 3 lands, double Sevulin isn't ideal. But I mean, I think this is good enough that we keep it. We got Hexcatcher, how bad can it be? Opponent's going to 6. All right, so opponent learned a lesson from last game apparently. Not going to, wow, going to 5, okay. Feeling better. Can we get a 4? Can we get a 4? Show us a 3. Show us a 3, humans. All right, well, we're definitely killing the Mana Dork if they have one. Secluded Courtyard for our opponent. Human. Who would have guessed? Ether Vial. Ether Vial's a little sketchy with a 5-card opening hand. I don't know if I keep a Vial with a 5-card opening hand. Although maybe our opponents just kept 1 land, 3 spells. Maybe that's their plan and they're just all in on the Vial. Looks like. Ooh, Silvergill A. Well, Cavern on Merfolk. And yeah, I guess we just Silvergill. Revealing Sevulin. Draw a card. Opponent, gonna violin something. Noble Hierarch, sure. All right, Lord of Atlantis. Well, pass the turn. Opponent, taking up the vial. So at this point, our opponent's probably hoping not to draw lands. This is another Hierarch. All right, opponent goes to combat. Getting it. Sure, we take it, unfortunately. You got it? All right, no Thalia's Lieutenant at least. Opponent passes. Now we draw the Vial. Well, play Ottawa, play Ether Vial. Go to combat, attack ya. I don't think there's a 2 they can violin that just blows us out. Down to 18. Opponent untaps. Vial goes up to 3. Land. This is going to be close. This is actually going to be super close. Can we deploy our hand in time? Opponent. Italy. Well, we are going to have to kill that. Actually, you know what? Let's... can we Trickster? Yeah, let's Trickster. Tap down the Hierarch. So our opponent can't attack this turn. All out of mana. Opponent passes. Well, take up the Vial. A land would actually be fine. Another Vial. That's less fine. Awkward draws. Well, I mean, we need to dismember. It hurts, but it's necessary. Kill Adelaine. Opponent Vial's in. Ether Channeler to bounce the Adaline? Okay. Well, that's a lot of damage. Let's play Lord of Atlantis. Hit you for 3. Gonna be close, opponent untaps. Vial, I assume, stays at 3. So we spent 4 life for minimal value with that bounce. I mean, I guess we got rid of the Ether Channeler, but opponent, gonna violin Adaline. Yep. Goes to combat, goes attacking. So we take a huge hit here. Well, we get to kill the token. We drop to 10. Passing. Better not be another Ether Vial, I swear. I swear to the magic gods. Pick up Vial. It's a lord. How risky is attacking with everything? It's definitely risky. The Vial is tapped down, though. Now, let's go to combat. Do some attacking. Yeah, let's leave back the Lord of Atlantis. See what our opponent does. Opponent blocks. Let's Violin Master of the Pearl Trident. Get a little bit more damage. Kill the Hierarch. How do we not die? Yeah, let's play Sevulin. It's bad if our opponent has Reflector Mage or another Ether Channeler, but I think it's our best bet. So right out Sevulin. Opponent. As long as Sevulin sticks, we can block the Adelaine, which is good. All right, stays on 3. Masked Vandal. Okay. Gonna get rid of the Vial. And technically we're losing to a Merfolk. The Masked Vandal is a Merfolk. Oh no, mouse dying. Oh, there we go. No, you really have Reflector Mage? Jeez. All right, so opponent had the literal perfect combination of cards. Bounces Sevulin, goes to combat, attacks with Adelaine. They needed to really have both too, or else we could just put our stuff back into play. The opponent gets in, makes a token. I mean, does this just mean we're dead? Block the token, take infinite, down to 3. Opponent passes. Now oh, I'm glad we brought in these Spreading Seas. That might let us steal here. Yeah, Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas, give you an island. Everything has island walk. Is our opponent's last card something they can interact with us with this Noble Hierarch mana? If not, we manage to fish them. Oh my goodness. Oh, does the top deck come through? Wow, what a good top deck. Wow, I thought that Reflector Mage Masked Vandal would get us for sure, but Spreading Seas might. Oh, we got the GGs. We managed to just barely beat the 5-card opening hand, I think. Unless this is GG, we're gonna kill your thing and win on the backswing. Resolves. Go to combat, swing. Opponent can't block any of our stuff. And oh my goodness, dies. We learned a pretty good lesson about Masked Vandal. It is really good against our deck because we're pumping it. But we managed to survive. We managed to survive. That was not bad. That was not bad. Sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are doing some more modern fishing, and yeah, this one looks fine. We got a bunch of lords. Hexcatcher, Lord. I mean, that's the Merfolk way. Hexcatcher, go. See what our opponent's up to. Urza Saga. Oh god, Amulet. All right, well, we're gonna have to be quick. Very, very quick. Well, play the land, play Lord of Atlantis, hit you over 2. Oh, we'd love to draw land. That would be the best. If we draw land, we can Hexcatcher plus something else, like an untapped land. We can play Glassbow Mimic as a land if we have to. I don't know if we can win this race or not. So Saga's ticking up. Opponent. We are on the play. We need to find a way to give our opponent an island. All right, there's a bounce land. Gets to untap it. Make a construct. No. Oh, Dryad of the Hills and Grove. All right, not make a construct. Instead, go off. Arboreal Grazer. Really need a way to give our opponent an island. Untaps the land. Passes. We draw. Untap land. Ooh, Tide Shaper. Oh, so opponent gave themselves an island. How do we stop our opponent from killing us with Primeval Titan, though? That's the problem. Like, Primeval Titan Valakut just gets us. Well, I mean, I guess so we play Lord of Atlantis, we attack for 6. That's not good enough. We can get rid of the Urza Saga. Maybe that's our best bet? Does that keep our opponent from... Yeah, I think we gotta go for it. All right, Tide Shaper with Kicker. Target Urza Saga. Kill it. Play the tap land. Hit you for 2. Depressing. Oh, so opponent's still at 16. So this keeps our opponent from tutoring out a second amulet, which is something. But with multiple land drops with the Dryad, I think they still just Primeval Titan if they have it. And once they Primeval Titan, I don't think we can win. Yeah. Oh boy. Primeval Titan. Well, this was not especially close. And then they get to haste it and get Valakuts. Yeah, okay. Well, fish are a little bit small compared to, I mean, this is a turn 3 Primeval Titan. What do you do? What do we have that, oh boy, nothing, literally nothing. We can try to dismember the Dryads. Hexcatcher is once again not very good. Well, bring in dismember, I guess subtlety. Subtlety might be our best bet. This feels like a tough one. Subtlety seems key. Merfolk Trickster, at least somewhat helpful. Really want one more dismember. Let's go down a glass pool mimic, try it like that. All right. Can we race a Primeval Titan? I wonder if this is just not a good fishing matchup. Maybe the Primeval Titan is the nightmare. I mean, that hand's definitely a nightmare. If our opponent can Primeval Titan on turn 3, whew, that's tough. Especially, I mean, they do need the Dryad too. Without the Dryad, it's not as scary, but I mean, this is a fine Merfolk hand. I don't know if it can overcome the Primeval Titan, but this is kind of what we want our hands to look like. Turn 1 Vial, turn 2 we can Silvergill, start stacking up Lords, and then just hope for the best, I guess. Well, Island, Ether Vial go. About it untaps. I feel like this is the deck I just always lose to in Modern these days. Never beat the Primeval Titans, oh god. All right, opponent has the Urza Saga, that's bad news. Well, take up the Vial. Sevulin. Well, we will play Cavern on Merfolk. And definitely going to Silvergill. Yeah, revealing a Sevulin. Draw a card. Okay, so Lords for days. But Amulet's going to come down off this Urza Saga unless we find a way to turn it into an island this turn. Oh, God. Oh, no. Is this? Oh, my goodness. And the... Oh, no. Oh, my God. This is a nightmare. This is the nightmare of nightmares. All right, opponent. Double Urza Saga, Sunhome, million lands on the battlefield, boom, Vial, 2, Mutavault, which we can't even really play, and we can't, well, okay, so, I mean, I guess we play the land, play Sevulin. Actually, you know what, we should probably just attack first. Violin, Master of the Pearl Trident, go to combat, hit you for 3. If our opponent has removal, I don't think we have a choice but to attack here. It's not going to get better. Like, the blowout is they kill the Master of the Pearl Trident and then block the Silvergill Adept, but wow, they do have it. Oh, God. All right. Yeah. There goes our board. We will play Sevulin and pass the turn. Well, let's see if they got it. The opponent floats a mana, gets an Amulet, plays a bounce land, untaps it, floats some mana, picks it up. Is that card Primeval Titan for the full Primeval Titan glory? Bounce land, picks it up. I mean, if they got it, they just had the ideal draw for their deck. Oh, all right. I mean, sure. Yeah, that's Modern. I mean, what do you even say about that? Like, we will lose to those draws literally 100% of the time. Like, what do you even do? Turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 Dryad, double Urza Saga to get the Amulet, Primeval Titan in hand. Like, there's no chance. There's absolutely no chance of that being a game for our deck. So, all right, well, on to the next. Much brew about nothing time. We are playing some fish in Modern, seeing if Merfolk are finally good. Well, Cavern of Souls on Merfolk. Ether Vial. We are leaning incredibly hard on this Ether Vial. 1 land, but we do got the Ether Vial. Opponent, Breeding Pool, untapped. Oh, Living End, okay. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Land is gonna be a problem. So what ways do we have of stopping Living End? So I guess we gotta draw land. We gotta draw land, and we can use the Hexcatcher to stop the Living End. That's the game plan. But that requires drawing. Oh, jeez. Oh, all right, just kidding. We got MH2'd opponent. Maybe we should have subtletied it. That was probably would have been a better play, I guess. Yeah, takes a Hexcatcher. Steam Vents, untapped, opponent passes. Well, take up the Vial. We draw land, which would have been pretty sweet had we been able to protect the Hexcatcher. Yeah, I guess we should have just done it. Opponent cycles, land, cascades into a million things. Yeah, yep. Fair enough. Well, I mean, I guess that was kind of kind of on us for not using Subtlety. Got some good sideboard cards here. Get to bring in the Chalices, which are great, and all the Graveyard Hate, and then I guess just run it like that. Well, this hand is not going to do us. I mean, we'll keep this. We do have multiple pieces of hate. We'll see if that's enough to matter. We're gonna put the Hearst to the bottom. Play the land, play Chalice on 0. Opponent has Force of Negation. Play Relic Progenitus. Exile a card from your graveyard past the turn. Well, we really would like to draw a land. That would be helpful. Opponent untaps. Misty Rainforest passes. Land? No. Ether Vial. Well, we'll play the Ether Vial. Pass the turn. I guess that's the way we can get things on the battlefield eventually. I feel like Hexcatcher is legitimately good in this matchup. Breeding Pool tapped. Opponent untaps. Plays a land. Well, exile a card from your graveyard. Untap. Pick up the vial. Well, there's a land. Pass the turn. Opponent. Steam Vents tapped. I mean, I don't think our opponent can beat us playing fairly. I think we're likely to win in that scenario. Pick up the vial. And let's vial in Silver Gilladept, draw a card. Play Master of the Pearl Trident. Go to combat, hit ya. So we don't have mana for the Relic, but we can sack things, which is huge, because just getting our things in the graveyard is also pretty beneficial against Living End. The trick of Living End is breaking the symmetry. If we take and sacrifice our board to get it in the graveyard, that means we're getting stuff back too, which really shifts the matchup. Opponent is going to grief, pitching a Living End. All right, can take a Lord or a Glasspool Mimic that will be a Lord. Takes the Lord. Opponent cycles, Land, tapped, passes. Well, take up the vial. I mean, I think we're in good shape here. We can take up the vial, Glasspool the Lord, hit our opponent for a bunch. I mean, the nice thing about Merfolk is it does have a pretty fast clock. Another vial's not helpful. Well, we will vial. Put a Glasspool Mimic into play. Clone. I guess just Master the Pearl Trident. Go to combat, hit ya. Takes it. Down to 3. So opponent's got to do something big this turn. This is where you can see how Hexcatcher really changes matchups. Like, the ability to slow down the Living End is really, really huge. Like, this is keeping our opponent. This is where I went wrong in game 1 by not using the subtlety on the grief. The Hexcatcher seems like the card that gives us some chance of being able to win this matchup, when otherwise we just really wouldn't have one. Maybe we go 1 Force of Negation. The problem with Force of Negation is they can cascade at instant speed, but I mean, that went well. That went well. That is the Hexcatcher power. Just being able to be like, okay, you can't Living End into us. We have none of our graveyard hate, but we got Cursecatcher and Hexcatcher. Will that swing the match in our favor? Is that enough for us to win against Living End? We're hoping. It's kind of like, it gives the Merfolk a little bit of a Death and Taxes feel almost. Opponent Ottawa. And a grief. Well, I'm assuming they're taking the Hexcatcher. Wow, takes Cursecatcher. Interesting. And passes. Ooh, okay. Unsure if we can resolve that, but if we can, opponent cycles a Curator, untaps. Street Wraith and cycles, whiffs. Oh, goody. Well, okay, Chalice on 0. That works really well. Do you got the Force? They do. Well, unlicensed Hearse. Do you got another Force and another blue card? No. Well, we are going to start eating your good cards. There's the sideboard cards off the top. Pass the turn. Oh, maybe Merfolk's good enough to overcome our pump, opponent. Misty Rainforest passes. Well, we will keep the graveyard clean. Actually, there's no reason to do this now, is there? Let's play Waterlog Grove. Play... do we have to leave up... Yeah, let's leave up Hexcatcher. I really want to run out Sevulin and then we can double Lord next turn, but I think it makes the most sense to just make sure we don't get janked out. We're in a pretty good spot here. We just got to make sure we don't get janked out by Living End, and Hexcatcher does make sure that doesn't happen. Opponent's going to pass. Okay, Hearse. Get rid of the 2 creatures. Opponent cycles. Sure. Well, run out Hexcatcher. Untap. Play it. Oh, Tide Shaper is actually excellent here. Kick a Tide Shaper. Leave you on all blue mana. Run out a Lord. Oh, this is big. Oh, this is big. This should be game. Opponent only blue mana. Master of the Pearl Trident. Eat your only creatures. Wow. Go to combat. And that's a GG's. And that's a GG's. This is Hexcatcher game. This is where you can see, this is a match where in the past, I don't think Merfolk would be able to win. But now we have 3 curse catchers on the battlefield. If our opponent does draw out of this and they do try to living end, we got the answer because of this new Lord. It is a really big deal. Probably a bigger deal than we're even giving it credit for. It is huge. Oh no. Should we have fired up the hearse? Yeah, I don't think we can lose playing it this way. Opponent, Mystical Dispute, sure. Well, pass the turn. I mean, playing it this way, I don't see how we can lose. So no reason to take on any extra risk. Opponent finds a land. With 2 islands, though, I guess Shardless Agent would let them cascade. Opponent passing. Well, keep the creatures clean. Unlicensed Hearse has been pretty good, too. The Fishers. Opponent cracks the Misty. Steam Vents, untapped. You don't have green mana, though. The instant speed cascade needs green mana. Well, just for the rub-ins, let's kick a Tide Shaper. Mono blue land destruction here. Go to combat. Swing with the Merfolk crew. Here come the fish. Hexcatcher. What a huge deal. Maybe this is how we beat the unfair decks. It didn't work against Primeval Titan. Not that kind of unfair deck, but against this kind of unfair deck, a board full of curse catchers plus some graveyard hate. Yeah. Pretty good. Much about nothing time. We are doing some more fishing in Modern, and I think we can keep this because we got the Ether Vial, basically. Well, Cavern on Merfolk. 1 land's a little frightening. If we draw a 2nd land, this hand's good. And with 1 land, this hand's still kind of okay. We really want the land just so we can kick these Tide Shapers, though. Well, now we definitely need the land to kick the Tide Shapers to stop the Tron lands. Come on, deck. Show us a Merfolk Trickster. Okay. Blue Tron. All right. Gonna repeal the Vial. Yeah, that's pretty bad for us. Opponent passes. Well, Cavern on Merfolk. And yeah, let's just kick a Tide Shaper. Hit the Tron land. Pass the turn. We'll see if that'll work. Having 2 caverns is nice against Bluetron because they're all about the counters. And we're going to make the counters not nearly as good. Another subtlety. Well, 1, 2. So opponent can't Tron next turn no matter what. Well, let's go to combat. Hit you with the Tide Shaper. Flash in the Hexcatcher. Get in some damage. This Ether Vial might just be done for at this point. I don't know if we're going to run it back. I think we're on this Subtlety Tempo plan, really. We'd love to draw another land to get down the Sevulin. And then we're hoping that some combination of a clock and subtleties. Well, okay. That's bad. So opponent might be able to assemble Tron here. And it slows down our clock significantly. I mean, they can definitely assemble Tron. We'll see how much mana they have afterwards. Sax Expedition Map. Gets the mine, plays the mine. The opponent passes. Well, we draw a land. So, well, 1, 2. Kick the Tide Shaper. Get rid of Urza's mine. Turn off Tron. Is this worth countering? I mean, I guess we gotta let it go. Opponent gets to draw some cards. Unfortunately, it's blue Tron. If it was normal Tron, it would probably... We'd probably be in a lot better shape with this double Tide Shaper draw. We just haven't been able to get in any damage, which is frightening. Like, opponent's up to 4 lands, and we have not gotten in any meaningful amount of damage. Oh! Opponent spins right back into Tron. Walking Ballista. Well, I mean, we got a subtlety it. Get rid of the Ballista for now. Very temporary solution to this very big problem. Puts it back on top. Expedition Map. Opponent passes. Well, tick up the Vial. Another subtlety. Well, go to combat. Hit ya. Play Sevulin. Pass the turn. Opponent's down to 15, but they're untapping with Megatron. Yeah, we just can't do anything about this. And cracks the map, and then they get to Walking Ballista. Yeah, so we will scoop. I mean, the Walking Ballista just comes down and ruins everything. Well, that was disappointing. It felt like the Tide Shapers might actually be good, but not good enough. I mean, opponent just had a bunch of early tempo plays. We couldn't get any real traction because our opponent was able to just bounce everything that we did. And maybe we keep the Curse Catchers. Force Negation is probably just necessary. I mean, we also had a 1-lander. Yeah, let's go down not Master. Let's go down all the Tricksters. I think the Tricksters are just not going to be worth it. It could be good against, like, specifically a Wormcoil Engine, but we gotta hope we're just island walking. So bring in a couple more counters. We get to play first. I mean, we'll keep this. I like that we have the Caverns. That's helpful. Aether Vial go. We don't have any way to interact with our opponent's lands, though, so Tron's just gonna happen if it happens. Take up the Vial. More lands, not super ideal. Well, Cavern on Merfolk and Silvergill Adept. Reveal the Hexcatcher. Draw. Oh no, even more lands. Okay, no more lands, deck. No more lands. Please. That is all the lands we ever need. Opponent to repeal. Well, let's Vial. Put Curse Catcher into play. Opponent bounces and draws. We untap. Well, let's run out Hexcatcher. Uncounterably. Hit ya for 5. Play Manamo and replay Vial. Pass the turn. Can we close it? Oh, there's a Tron land. Not good. Well, take up the Vial. Oh, another land. Another land. That is the worst. Okay. Master of the Pearl Trident, uncounterably. Go to combat. Swing. Opponent takes it to 6. Waterlog Grove, go. Are they just going to roll into Tron? Thirst for knowledge. Well, we're going to sack the Curse Catcher. Come on, no Tron. Okay, not Tron. That's good. Opponent's passing. Well, sack the land draw card. Tide Shaper. Dig up the Vial. Mutavault. Well, play Mutavault. Kick a Tide Shaper. Hit the Tron land. This is going much better for the Merfolk. Hit the power plant. Go to combat. Swing. And dead. I mean, we can fire up Mutavault and sack it. We can sack the Tide Shaper. So opponent needs Cyclonic Rift. Sack this. Sack this. All right, I guess our opponent gets to live, unfortunately. So opponent goes to 1. And we'll just pass. Opponent cannot Tron this turn, which is huge. And opponent, okay, that went way better. We actually got some traction going early in the game, which was huge. Run it back. Can we do it on the draw? Can we do it on the draw? Tron is always scary. I wonder if Blue Tron is a better or worse matchup for this deck. I like that they have an island. Ooh, no Cavern. Double Tide Shaper. Boy, 1 land. Oh, sounds so interesting. Can we keep it? Wow, that would be the greediest keep. If we draw a land, it could work. I think we got a mulligan. Oh, God. Okay. This hand is less appealing. Put a Vial to the bottom. Well, we'll see. Urza's Mind. Expedition Map. I mean, I guess we got to counter it and hope for the best. Well, Sevulin. No Cavern this game is a huge difference compared to the last 2. Cavern was doing some serious work. Opponent passes. Well, take up the Vial. Play the land. Run out Lord of Atlantis. If our opponent tries to counter, we can Curse Catcher. Well, Vial. Curse Catcher. Counter it. Pass the turn. All right, more action. Opponent tap land. Passes. Oh, we are almost out of cards already. Take up the Vial. Well, play the land. Go to combat. Attack ya. Do we play the Sevulin? We really need the Sevulin down. I think we have to. They could have another Condescend. Yeah, we gotta play it. Hopefully they don't. That would be unfortunate if they had the double Condescend opener. Come on. Remand, okay. I mean, that's better than Condescend. That means we get to Violet next turn. Unfortunately, our opponent's still at 18. Thirst for knowledge, that's a big one. Discards Torpor Orb, plays a mine. Well, at least that's the wrong Tron land. And dismembers Lord of Atlantis. Well, Vial going up to 3. Well, I mean, kick a Tide Shaper. I guess we shut down the Hall of the Storm Giants. Pass the turn. Opponent's down to 14. Land. Solemn Simulacrum. Okay. Gonna need an Island Walk Lord at some point. Well, Violent Sevulin. Untap. Vile Stain on 3. Sack the land. Come on deck. Cavern. On Merfolk. Well, I don't like our opponent drawing a card here. Or off the Solemn. There's our Island Walk Lord. Ugh. Would have been so much better pre-combat. Would have been maybe game-winning pre-combat. The opponent gets another land. Yeah, I guess we just pass. Opponent. Academy Ruins. Passes. Well, Vile stays on 3. Oh, even more lands. Well, Master of the Pearl Trident uncounterably. Go to combat. Attack you, draw a card. Oh no! Even more lands. Opponent has Cyclonic Rift. I'll play the land. Kick a Tide Shaper. Get rid of Academy Ruins. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. We just didn't hit the right cards. None of our Curse Catcher effects. No Hexcatchers. Our opponent hasn't been getting close to Tron, but they have been able to just build up this massive board that is probably going to be able to beat us. Expedition map. We gotta hope they whiff, I guess. Oh, there's the Hexcatcher. Little late to the party. Play the land. Go to combat. Hit ya. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this doesn't work now, does it? All the Storm Giants. Sevulin. And pass the turn. Opponent adapts. Yeah, we switch it over. Not on Hold the Storm Giants anymore. Opponent. Academy Ruins back to Solemn. Replays the Solemn. Well, that's another punt we're gonna have to overcome. Gets a land out of cards. Okay. Run out Hexcatcher. Untap. Play Mutavault. Play Master of the Pearl Trident. I think our opponent has one turn to top deck. If they do, they're gonna win. If not, we're gonna win. I think that is how this game goes. Go to combat. Hit ya. Island Walk ya. Draw. Subtlety. Curse Catcher. I'll hit ya. Play Curse Catcher. I mean, this is it. Opponent gets to thin the deck by cracking the map, and then they got a top deck. Pass the turn! Pass the turn, magic gods! Help us overcome our chump attacks! Come on, Hexcatcher. I mean, I don't think they can get a land that matters, right? Blast Zone doesn't matter. All the Storm Giants doesn't matter. Teleria West. Oh, does that let our opponent win? So they can Teleria West for, I assume, Walking Ballista. And then Walking Ballista, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has to shoot down our Island Walk Lord. Yep. Opponent plays Ballista. Opponent passes. Well, tick up. Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas Academy Ruins. Draw a card. And we got the GGs. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess that shows the power of the Merfolk. We managed to beat Tron, even jump attacking into all the Storm Giants. Well, sweet. sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are fishing in Modern, and we're gonna keep this. I mean, no Vile, no 1-drop, but we got a bunch of Merfolk. Double Silvergill could do something eventually. Planes for our opponent, Esper Sentinel. Ornithopter. All right, so we're getting hammered. Well, let's see how bad it might be. Opponent passes. Subtlety. Well, Mutavault. And Silvergill Adept. Reveal Silvergill Adept, draw a card. So the downside of the hammer matchup is we don't really have much removal, although we did hit a Trickster. Also, Subtlety only gets creatures or planeswalkers, so it can't stop Sigarda's Aid Hammer. Oh my god. Is this the full Monty? Sigarda's Aid. Esper Sentinel. Okay, that's not a hammer. That's good. Opponent passes. All right, Waterlogged Grove. So Hexcatcher's probably not going to do much. The question is, do we need to leave up Trickster? I feel like if our opponent had... Well, let's go to combat attack, see what our opponent does. If they block with an Esper Sentinel, then we can just flash in Hexcatcher. All right, opponent just takes it. Well, in that case, let's Silvergill Adept, reveal Lord of Atlantis, draw a card. Play the land, pass the turn. Yeah, we probably got to kick the Tide Shaper to give our opponent an island. Plains. Stoneforge Mystic. So that's going to get the hammer. That's going to put it on a creature. We can stop it for a turn. Yeah, I wish we could have waited one more turn, but yeah, I think we gotta slow things down. Subtlety. Oh, one more turn would have been nice. So Stoneforge gonna go to the top. Opponent passes. Curse Catcher. I'll play the Mutavault. Oh, we're just so pinched on blue mana. It's very awkward. Opponent's at 18. If we block, they're probably gonna trade. If we had more blue mana, life would be easy. But we don't. So we can either play Lord of Atlantis or Merfolk Trickster, or, I mean, I think we just take the hammer hit. This is awkward, but Lord of Atlantis. I think our best bet is Lord of Atlantis, fire up a Mutavault, and just attack with everything. Oh no. Oh no, okay. Well, I keep their Esper Sentinel. They do take 6 though. That is awkward. So opponent goes to 12. So now they get to Stoneforge Hammer. Oh, I really hope we draw blue mana. So opponent, Stoneforge, gets the hammer. Hammers. On what? Esper Sentinel. So we definitely can't beat 2 hammers. Opponent hits us. Blue Source. Blue Source would probably be able to win us the game. Opponent passes. Subtlety. Well, I think what we do is kick a Tide Shaper, give our opponent an island, hit our opponent for 6, play Curse Catcher, pass the turn. We're dead to a hammer or Shadow Sphere. Otherwise, we should be able to get there. Oh, all right, opponent didn't have it. Opponent did not have it. Merfolk. Are Merfolk actually good now? That's so unlikely. Who would have thought in the year of our Lord 2022, all of a sudden Merfolk, the forgotten, green screen's not looking too good today, the forgotten, arguably horrible tribe. Hey, there's 2 of me. One of the worst tribes in recent years. Who would have thought that they'd make this unprecedented comeback? All right, so Dismember's very good. Curse Catcher's pretty bad. Force of Negation, we could use it for desperate, but Chalice can actually do work if it comes down early enough. Subtlety, little hit or miss. Force of Negation or Chalice. If we're going Chalices, we probably need all of them. We're on the draw. Let's go Force of Negation. I think because we're on the draw, Force of Negation is probably better. If we're on the play, then there might be an argument to just trying to run out Chalice and hoping for the best, especially for cutting our Curse Catchers. That means we don't have that many 1-drops. Well, I mean, this will be our 3rd Lord. We played Elves and Explorer, did pretty well. Budget Runval 8-Whack Goblins in Modern, pretty good for a budget deck. Merfolk overperforming, so now we just got to do Soldiers and Clerics, and we will have tried them all. We'll keep this. I kind of like this Ottawa. Ottawa might be able to bounce something with a hammer on it. Although this hand's... There's a Sagardazade. Although this hand's not super fast. Oh no, and the Ornithopter. Ay. Dismember off the top, Magic Gods. Oh, Dismember off the top. Waterlog Grove. Yeah, I think we're actually gonna not play the Ether Vial. I think leaving up Dismember here is probably worth it. It makes our slow hand even slower, but Steel Paladin. Opponent passes. Okay. Mutavault and Ether Vial and pass the turn. Opponent. Opponent. Urza Saga. Okay, that's a pretty good thing to turn into an island. Opponent hits us for 2. Sure. If they try to hammer, we will dismember. All right, opponent hits us down to 18. Opponent passes. Take up the vial. I mean, I guess we're just playing this the slow way. Now play Atwara. Kick a Tide Shaper. Kill the Urza Saga. This does mean our opponent doesn't have an island, but we can't really let the Urza Saga go off. I think it's worth it. Opponent. Untapped. So we're playing kind of like a weird control. Oh, opponent just has an island. That's sweet. Untapped island. Opponent gets in with the Ornithopter. Okay. Colossal Hammer. Well, I mean, ouch, Dismember. Oh my god. Oh, we're dead. All right, well. Oh, opponent slow roll those hammers like crazy. Well, we're going to go on the Force of Negations, and we're going to go up the Chalices and hope this is the right plan. Wow, that was impressive. They were very patient with those hammers. I did not expect them to have 2. Having 1 made sense, but 2, that was unexpected. Oh God. Oh, not like this. Not for the last round of our league. Oh no. So incredibly bad. Well, Tide Shaper bottom and I guess Hexcatcher bottom. Yikes. Well, okay. The dream's not looking so good at the moment. Opponent keeps 7. We're at 5 on the play. 1 land, but we do got the Ether Vial. Opponent Esper Sentinel, and for once doesn't have an Ornithopter. Passes. Well, take up the Vial. Cavern on Merfolk. I guess we pass. We would like to just draw a straight action for the rest of the game. There's the Ornithopter. Might not have been there on turn 1, but it's there. Hollowed Fountain, untapped. Yo, Steel Paladin, no attacks. Well, I think we're gonna kill it. Kill the Pure Steel, pay the 1. Untap. Take up the Vial. Come on, deck. Something good. Something good. Okay, another Lord. Lord of Atlantis. Actually, I guess Master's probably better. Run out Master of the Pearl Trident. Pass the turn. All right, there's our clock. Opponent. Urza's Saga. All right, so we know that's going to be a problem eventually. Sigarda's Aid. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Yep. Colossal Hammer. Equips. We drop to 6. Well, Violin Lord of Atlantis. Untap. Vial gonna stay on 2. Mutavault. Go to combat. Down to 12. Well, this is it. This is the entire game. Opponent. Saga. Can make a construct, but that's not super relevant. I mean, that's it. We win or lose this turn. We can put the Trickster into play. Okay, Steel Shaper's Gift. For Shadow Sphere, Blooded Strand. So the question's going to be, do they have the Hexproof spell? If they have the Hexproof spell, then they're going to win. If they don't, then we should win. The best Ornithopter ever. Well, this is it. You got the Blacksmith skill. Vial Trickster. Tap it. Okay. Game. Is that the Fish 4-1? I don't know how we ever beat Primeval Titan, but otherwise, Merfolk actually feels legit, despite our punts. That's a sign of a good deck. When you can punt your way through and still win. Oh, come on, hold. They could have removal. Wow, opponent says darn. And we got the GGs. Oh, Fish, Merfolk. Maybe Professor was right all along. I can't believe I'm saying that, but maybe Merfolk is good now. I mean, the new Lord we get a bunch of treasure chests open. The new Lord is a pretty big addition to the deck. I mean, we gotta say, let's just do our wrap up here. I mean, on one hand, we got to see Merfolk be what Merfolk is, which is a deck that apparently lags magic online when you try to open it. We got to see Merfolk be what Merfolk is. Like, this is very traditional Merfolk. You play a bunch of lords, you attack with the lords, you give your opponent an island to benefit from your island walk lords and win the game. So on one hand, it is, what it normally is. On the other hand, we got to see Hexcatcher really change the equation in some matchups. It wasn't good in every matchup. Against creature heavy decks, or against, like we saw there, against Hammer Time, it's kind of meh. On the other hand, against like Living End, this was a card that let us win. Like, if we didn't have this against Living End, we would have had no chance. But the fact that all of our things were suddenly Curse Catchers and we could sacrifice them and get them in the graveyard, that just turned Living End from a matchup that we probably are literally never going to win unless we just get lucky sideboard cards into a matchup that maybe we can win pretty consistently. So I think the Hexcatcher was even a bigger deal than I realized for the deck, just because of how it improves the bad matchups for Merfolk. Merfolk, when it goes well and you see the creature decks and you stack up the lords and beat them down, it feels really powerful, but in those bad matchups, it feels like you can't win. We still had one of the bad matchups. We still played against an Amulet Titan deck, and I don't know if we never beat that deck, honestly. Maybe there's some way we get a bunch of Tide Shapers and like put them off their mana, but they just had turn 3 Primeval Titan. That was the one match we lost in our league. We went 4-1. Our one loss came to the turn 2 or turn 3 Primeval Triton draw twice in a row, and literally we're never gonna beat that. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I guess there's some weird word like a subtlety and then get their bounce land or something, but for all intents and purposes, that's just modern. Like, that's gonna happen. But Merfolk felt really good. We got to see, a little bit of Modern Horizons too, with Sevulin really helping the deck, giving it card advantage and protection. But really, Hexcatcher was a huge deal, improving those bad matchups that we would have lost otherwise. So if you like to do some fishing, go fishing in Modern, this might be the time. For the first time in, I don't even know, it feels like a decade, it might be that Merfolk is an actual real deck that you can play. So if you like the fish, if you like kind of tempo-y tribal decks, seems like a pretty good option. But now let's crack our treasure chest. 1 of 5. Stirring Bard. Wait, did this get banned? I feel like the price on this probably just crashed on Magic Online. Yep. This is like $3 down to like 30 cents. I think this is one of the banned initiative cards, banned in Pauper. Well, all right. Yeah, kind of a whiff so far for treasure chest. Chest number 2. Adult Gold Dragon. Yeah, saw a little standard play. OG Marrow. Kind of been outclassed by subsequent Marrows, but all right. This is gonna be the good one. We gotta get something good. Ooh, Fabled Passage. Does Fabled Passage have any value? It does see plays. He's Pioneer play. 47 cents. Ephemia. Ephemia is a cool card. I always liked Ephemia. 2 to go. 2 more shots for ooh, well, we got $12.50 of play points, enough to enter another league and then some. And Savitri Dragon Master. I can see building a commander deck around Savitri. I don't think it's valuable on Magic Online, but it's kind of neat. Demure Dragons is an interesting color combination for dragons, so you don't see that often. Well, 1 more to go. Come on, complete set. Force Negation. Ragavan. Hand of Praetors. Well, maybe this will return when we go back to New Phyrexia. Maybe we get some more infecting. You never know. It could come back. Anyway, that is Merfolk in 2022. That is Vodalian Hexcatcher. Lord number 3 of the 5. We got 2 more to go. We still got to play clerics at some point in some format. We still got to play soldiers at some point in some format. But the deck felt good. So if you're a Merfolk fan, rejoice. The deck actually feels oddly effective in Modern at the moment. So anyway, that's Merfolk. That's the fish. That's been our Much Brew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Want even more Modern action? Well, make sure to check out last week's Budget Magic, where 8 Whacker returned with the help of Runvelt Horde Master.